So Jake didn't want to talk about this today because he hates Ted Cruz.
Cancun Cruz,
He hates
the great
Cancun,
abandoner.
the great abandoner.
Yeah, the great abandoner, the guy that left his state when, the power grid was offline, the guy who
there was an ice storm and his kids were scared.
The guy who seemingly is always, flapping his, gums about random stuff and now wants to inject himself into college athletics. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, real excited to talk about Buddy.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to be pissed off more today. I hate the Super League or Notre Dame needs to join a conference. The Super League thing is real. And Ted Cruz today, and I'll give him credit, he's finally contributed to betterment of life. Ted Cruz today, one growing concern, this is from Ross Dellinger at Yahoo. One growing concern is that the NFL has used its special exemption in the SBA, the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961, to the frustration of college and high school football schedulers. For example, the SBA explicitly excludes antitrust protection for the NFL of broadcasting a game on a Friday night or Saturday between mid-September to mid-December. And who would be pointing this out? Cancun Cruz. And what this is about, and when you read the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961, Congress enacted the Sports Broadcasting Act to grant professional leagues antitrust immunity as it relates to negotiating national broadcast deals on behalf of their teams. This structure allowed leagues to negotiate from a centralized office, one pot. In a synchronized manner without violating antitrust laws. Now, you're like, Monty, why on earth would this mean a Super League's coming? Well, because what's happening now, and I think what most people fully understand, is that we're in a situation where the Cancun Cruz side of things, they want college football on Saturday and they want the NFL on Sunday. And what's the only way to get that done? To have fewer television partners that all agree on a schedule where everybody makes money. From one pot, right? All the proceeds go into...
Yeah.
That's why you're going to, as I've said, and I know you guys all think I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, you just don't watch football. So,
or Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and we've talked about this a lot on this show. College football and a Super League are coming. The NCAA, not going away. But the NCAA will not have, as it is now, the NCAA will not have oversight over college football. College football will form a new entity that will have power brokers. It will have a commissioner. It will have presidents. It will have all of these things funded with private money, backstopped by television deals and branding partnerships. It will become its own individual NFL-style football league. And when you have that, what are you going to have? You're going to have a much larger centralized television deal, much like the NFL has, and you're not going to have this cross-pollination anymore. Because what can't happen is ESPN can't be trying to figure out what game is it going to be on Saturday night because the NFL is playing Saturday, but we've got Notre Dame and USC on Saturday night on ESPN or NBC or... So what they're trying to do here is bring it all under one umbrella with the SBA Act of 1961. That's what private equity is going to use to form a new entity that will, I think, be the foundation of a college football Super League. And Jake, I don't think it's a question. I actually think it's inevitable.
Yeah, and Ross Dellinger in his article talks all about how private equity has known about this, has privately has, supported it, this angle of getting into a new entity. So I don't think there's any question that this is going to happen. Like we've been saying, it's more a question of, how much participation is there going to be across the entire college football landscape? And what is the fee going to be on an ongoing basis, right? Because we're all fixated on revenue sharing and that whole side of it with with the settlement. But the reality is this is its own separate thing, right? Like obviously revenue sharing is a big deal, but when you look at the Super League, the cost to get in on the Super League is another line item. So, for these institutions and these universities, you've got to be planning now. And that's why I say, like, when you look at scheduling and you look at who's getting paid what and who's won recently, like that's why it's so important right now to be winning, because winning is how you generate more money to stockpile cash to be able to afford to get into an inevitable Super League. And that's why I say it's the middle of 2025 right now. I would venture a guess that inside of 5 years, this Super League is going to be going, which means you've really only got probably, 3, maybe 4 financial calendars to get this done and get yourself set up and ready to go if you're a school that's looking to do this and want to be in it. So this is not, I don't think, any longer something where people will be like, well, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I think this is full steam ahead. I think when you have senators talking about this, when you have government officials trying to get involved in this, it's pretty clear that this is no longer some tiny topic or just some ghost of an idea. This is something that people are going to spin as the solution to fixing college football. And my sneaking suspicion is that, if you're Ted Cruz or if you're a private equity firm, you're going to use this to make a lot of money. And I think that ultimately is why a Super League will happen. That is why you are going to see this push forward, because a lot of people can benefit from it. And anytime a lot of people can benefit from it, from a financial perspective, it's probably going to get done. And that ultimately, I feel like, is why Ted Cruz is commenting on it and getting involved in it. Why Cancun Cruz, is so strong in his stance with how this needs to work.
Yeah, and I think it's better for his constituents when you look at the state of Texas. I don't think there's any doubt that whether you're A&M, UT, Texas Tech certainly would be in that game. I don't know where Baylor sits on it. But you look at the TCUs of the world, they all want the Super League. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think college football fans are split on it, frankly. If the pulse of the fan is any indication, at least on our show, I don't think it's an overwhelming majority of football fans who are in favor of it because of the great unknown. And I think there's that sect of fan who believes private equity is bad for college football. I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that private equity is bad for college football. One, it's here already, and you better embrace that. Your favorite team already has private equity working for it. And two, I think it's only going to get larger. And whether it's the Rudy Project or what have you, talking to TV guys today about this, ESPN, NBC, CBS, they're ready. They're and everybody always goes to this idea that, well, they just signed a new contract. Do you really think that's going to stop a college football Super League from happening? Because who are the losers if you tear up the college football playoff contract? Who are the stakeholders in that? Well, the very people who'd be going to a college football Super League. Whether it's the TV networks, their sponsorships and partners, obviously all of the P4. It's yet to be determined how many G5s would opt into a Super League and how many spots would be available. Like all those details, and they're not minor, they're not small, but they do have to be worked out. And my point is, I just don't think that this is going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be smooth. I think it's going to be a very difficult transition for a lot of college football fans who will now become irrelevant. But I also think it's inevitable because there's too much money going out. You look at this grandfathering of roster sizes. You look at the Title IX arguments, and you have to get college football broken away from the NCAA into its own entity. that operates very much like the National Football League.
Yeah.
And we can go back years now, and we can continue to tell you, go look at the College Football Super League content on this show. I've been telling you this for almost 2 years now. This is not new. Private equity has met and continues to meet with all of the stakeholders in college football. I have had recent conversations about presidents, athletic directors, football coaches pressing forward, wanting to be part of this. Because frankly, there's no sustainable place. And I think this is really difficult for a lot of college fans to understand. There's not a sustainable path forward without a Super League. Hear me on that. If college football continues to go the way that it's going, college football will not exist. Your smaller universities will fall away because smaller universities are already opting out of playing football. Women's sports, which are, I am telling you, a revenue generator and matter at many of these larger institutions, will not be allowed to fall away because of Title IX. So you look at the legalities, you look at the legislation that's in place, you look at the liability, the financial liability and risks of moving forward as you are, it's unsustainable. In fact, it's impossible. College football cannot survive in the setup and the structure that it currently enjoys. And enjoys is probably not a great word. As it is currently constructed,
Endures.
College football cannot move forward. It is stunted. The growth is stunted. Large branding deals are questionable because nobody, if you're a G5, like I look at this Pac-12 Mountain West conference situation, are they really moving forward? Are they really able to progress and negotiate? And no, because their brand partners don't know where they're going to put their money. You don't know how much money you can do a brand deal for and feel really secure about it. Like if you category exclusive a beer, car brand, a hospital network, and then the house settlement doesn't go the way you think it is, or whatever lawsuit is next down the line. Because again, I maintain and I continue to point out what insulates more athletes who continue to file these lawsuits against universities and bodies, the NCAA, and what stops them from going forward? Nothing. Because when the house settlement gets finalized, and it will get finalized, when that house settlement gets finalized, more lawsuits are going to happen. It's the way that the world spins nowadays. You've got to find a way to stop those lawsuits. And the way you do that is you break off from the NCAA and you form a new entity that is insulated from the past. That's one of the most important reasons to do it. Insulate yourself from the liabilities and your mismanagement of the past. Create something newer, something bigger, something that creates new revenue, something that allows you to thrive at the level you were thriving at a decade ago, on par with that kind of money, but just on a grander scale. Who's going to say no to that? And my guess is nobody's going to say no to that because they're all already saying yes to it. They need it.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. The current system is super flawed and cannot and is unable to exist long term the way it is. It cannot function this way. It's just not beneficial enough to the masses. And I think that's why creating, and we've talked about this for so long, right? It used to be the conversation was, well, hey, the G5's got to create its own, college football playoff system or format, so that they can play with schools on par and on scale with their financial, resources, right? To make it fair. But we've kind of graduated and migrated that concept to now the bigger picture of overall funding of athletic departments and payments and revenue. And now we're talking about, hey, well, we're going to branch off and create a super league that has private equity involved. And, as you have been saying for how long now, it has a partnership of sorts and understanding. I don't know if it'll be on paper, but an understanding with the NFL that, hey, the NFL is playing on Sundays. We've got Friday and Saturday locked up, Like, so there's going to
And
be that relationship.
I
there.
think one of the biggest issues is the NFL feels limited in its Thursday, Sunday, Monday format. I think the NFL would like to play on different days and different structures. And currently, as Cancun Ted said, they're not allowed to do that. Not at least not in total safety.
Yeah,
They're,
not until what was it, January? I think they can start doing it. That the window opens for them.
yeah. I think you are going to see Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Sunday football is never going anywhere. I think players do not view Thursday Night Football as a solution. And I think there could be a very much a reimagined schedule about how we watch football in this country.
Yeah.
Because when you say to the NFL, you're going to play on Thursday, Sunday, and Monday, you're very much limiting them. And I think what you could see is, I think you could very much see college football, for instance, having a huge matchup every Tuesday night. Maybe it's college football on Thursday. The NFL plays on Friday night to give NFL players another day, like whatever it winds up being. But I think you're going to see a Thursday night football or a Monday Night Football type model in college football.
Yeah.
Because we're moving, like you look at this Notre Dame situation. Notre Dame and Clemson agreed to play through the end of time today. I think the deal is
2038.
2038. And Florida State and Miami and Notre Dame. And anybody want to see Notre Dame and Miami on a national stage in its own window?
Notre Dame, our mother.
Where on a Thursday night in September, and you pick the neutral site or Notre Dame Stadium, or well, they don't really have a great stadium in Miami, but if they ever wind up getting an on-campus stadium, where you're playing Notre Dame in Miami, Catholics versus convicts,
Yeah.
where you're playing these big, big games on its own stage, like Thursday Night Football, like Monday Night Football, only available on Paramount, whatever it winds up being, right?
Right.
There's too much money to be made.
Well, and that was the other. It's funny you bring up streaming, because that was the other point that Cancun Cruz was bringing up, is that the NFL has sidestepped the rules about like what days they can play by doing stream only games here and there, which circumvents the linear nature of that agreement. And so I just think it's, I understand that the NFL always wants options and always wants to do, everything that they can, right? I respect that. But at the same time, college football, the other thing here is college football has grown so much over the years. I do think, 25 years ago, let's say, college football wasn't nearly as big as it is now in stature. And so it was okay that, the NFL was limited by this agreement a little bit. And, like that sandbox, if you will, has kind of shifted around. And now it's like, hey, I remember during the season, hell, we all talked about it, right? Bro, I'm more excited about the Saturday night primetime college game than I am about the NFL slate on any given week. And
I don't think there's any doubt about that.
And I think the NFL recognizes that takes place some weeks, and they probably don't love that. And so I just think it's this thing where instead of these two, like, you've got the big brother with the NFL that's just been on cruise control doing what they do, and then little brother in college football slowly kind of come along here and is now big enough to where they need to have a relationship and they need to now work together better. And that's why private equity is behind all of this. And, there's so much support.
And I was talking to a guy today about what is the other unspoken benefit of a professional college football league, if you will, a super league. Well, now kids like Shedeur Sanders don't fall 5 rounds in the draft. Now, when you are a big-time college football player, you're already in a professional environment.
Right.
And with more money comes better facilities. With more money comes better preparation, better nutrition, more consistent, bodybuilding and wellness,
and to
mental health. You're a better NFL prospect. You become a better NFL player, which makes the NFL more money.
And I think it lowers the bust rate, right? I mean, honestly,
It absolutely lowers the bust rate.
because there's always like if that's the scenario, there's always going to be kids that get exposed and wash out, right? I mean, we always have that dynamic at play. You always hear about
Oh, balls. Oh my God. Oh my God.
what?
Shams reporting Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter out for game 2 against the Indiana Pacers tonight. Holy cow. I'm telling you, they're done. They cannot beat the Pacers without those 3 guys.
Yeah.
I think you're in real trouble now. Anyway, all right. Your thoughts on that certainly is welcome. Are you guys in favor of a college football super league? Have you finally come around to the dark side per Monty that the college football super league's inevitable? It's coming. Where do you guys land on that? Charlie Sinclair for $2. Santa Ono stepping down today. Well, right on top of that news, are you?
Bro, dude.
Brother, did you put this comment on delay from yesterday?
Did you schedule the comment for the wrong day and time?
I might be wrong. There's got to be more than, hey, I want to take the Florida job.
3/4 of this is inaccurate.
I don't know. I mean, it could be, all the punishment that's coming to your current institution.
I think it's more than that. I don't. Is it death threats?
Cheeseburger was undercooked. That's what it was.
But in all seriousness, the ecosystem at Michigan is toxic. I think we can all agree with that. Is Santa Ono being threatened? Like you look at this Palestinian situation, the protests on the campus there, the lawlessness with which we seem to be attacking the educational system right now. What is going on at Michigan that Santa Ono is leaving after signing a contract extension? Because Florida is not a better job than Michigan, or is it? Is Santa Ono looking for a soft landing? That doesn't seem like it. I have to believe that there's something more going on with Santa Ono and his exit from Michigan than just, well, it's Florida and that's a great job. And yeah, it's a great job. I don't disagree with that. There's got to be something more there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I don't know. I think there has to be more than that. And so I am sure at some point, if there is any journalism left in the state of Michigan, which there is, I hope somebody crawls up Santa Ono's ass and finds out what's really going on there. Because, yeah, I don't buy for a second that Santa Ono just got this great job offer out of nowhere from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. Is he living under something like what? I just feel like that's not normal.
Yeah,
I feel like there's something more than we have any idea what's going on, and you just don't.
Yeah, it's unusual. There's no doubt. It's unusual.
You just don't leave that job because the weather in Florida, the golf in Florida. Well, there's no state income tax.
I think it's clear that that's not why he's leaving.
You're leaving the job at Michigan because there's no state, bro. Because the weather's better, you can afford to vacation. When you're making that kind of jack, you can afford to vacation. Well, you want to play more golf? Me too, right? But I'm not moving to Florida, even though I could. There's something wrong with that. Florida is not a higher profile job. Florida isn't the educational institution Michigan is. You don't leave Michigan for Florida again because of weather and property taxes. And I was reading the one of the newspapers in Michigan talking about Was it income tax? No. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. I'm not. Backwoods, sexy Mike Smith. Every state has taxes one way or the other.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Property
it's
tax
just,
in Florida.
dude, like you're gonna get piped either way, dude.
Eric Wasikowski, the state income tax is why I left, right? But you're not making Santa Ono money.
Yeah.
You know, when you are the president, when you're the big dog at the University of Michigan, that's a massive job. That's a prestigious educational institution. With all due respect to Florida, you're not leaving there for Florida. You of all people should know that. You're not leaving there for Florida, right? I mean, it's wild to me that he's doing that. It just doesn't, you know, he left before they could put an asterisk tramp stamp on him. That might be true. There it is. They probably had, you know.
Gotta get ahead of it.
Got to get out of the way of that tattoo artist walking around looking for Ono. Brandon Bootlair, I am resigned to the fact a Super League is coming. I don't want it. Would prefer to keep the amateur illusion and the traditional rivalries, but that died during realignment. A Super League brings back the traditional rivalries. Because, again, speaking of Santa Ono, Michigan and Notre Dame want to play. It's just almost impossible to do that. Not if you join a Super League. Do you think Notre Dame and USC ever don't play? Do you think BYU and Utah ever don't play? Not if there's a Super League. If you think about Bedlam, well, as long as I can't recruit and the portal sucks guy with a mullet is there, we probably don't get Bedlam, even though he was knee padding the Sooners a couple of weeks ago. You know, about, oh, God, maybe we could have joint practices. Who wouldn't pay for that?
I mean, I think we should have, we should bring Bedlam back and we'll play one at their place and they can play one at our place and we'll do the proceeds towards NIL and it's all hunky-dory.
We'll have Pat Fitzgerald come in and do a human car wash for us.
Who does that?
Pat Fitzgerald. It would be
Are we clear on that?
I'm a terrible person. I don't. Super League could actually make it more teams have a chance to win championships. Sure. Santa Ono lateral scandal move to Florida. Could be.
Lateral scandal move.
He wants to know what happened to Aaron Hernandez. On that, what was the magazine show that Bill O'Reilly used to host? A Current Affair. We'll do it live. You remember that from Bill O'Reilly? Yeah. On the next Current Affair, Santa Ono exposes himself to Aaron Hernandez. The stadium guy. Why would Santa Ono leave Michigan to go to Florida? The weather is much better, and after Florida fixes up their footballs. How do you always work in football IPFs?
Practicing up. We're out of here.
How do you always work in stadium and facilities? Do you really think he's leaving Michigan for Florida because they promised him they were going to build facilities?
Well, we're going to build some CNS seating in the swamp, Monty, and that's why, Santa Ono's coming here.
And look, we'll have guardrails so the Gators can't get you.
Yeah, well, we're not going to have your leg bitten off, but,
It's not about stadiums, James. They will have better facilities. Dude, you have arguably one of the most historic college football stadiums on the flipping planet at Michigan. The swamp is, I don't care if you build 10 IPFs on top of their grandstand. It's never going to be the big house. You're crazy. Anthony Eason, right on time. No taxes in Florida either. Well, who knew?
Yeah, wow.
Joseph Harper, Michigan getting spanked and the Rats are leaving the Titanic. Could very well be. Brandon Butler, even Santa knows to fly over Michigan.
See what he did there? So that's like a flyover conference
Santa
reference.
So if they can isolate themselves from all the lawsuits, even previous ones, when they break off from the NCAA, I think it is a new entity provides a layer of protection for football revenue. That's what I think it does. It does not isolate or insulate, rather, the NCAA and thereby its members.
Mhm.
But that new money that you are creating in the Super League has to be walled off at some point. They have got to figure out, at what point do you stop allowing people to file new lawsuits? At some point, it's got to happen because it's just too much. I mean, at some point. But that's, Wasikowski, maybe Notre Dame should just join the Big Ten. But again, every time this comes up on the show, somebody give me a reason why Notre Dame should join a conference.
Because shit's going good.
Because I've told you this before, and I'm going to tell you again. There's only a couple of reasons why they should, or what levers could be pulled to force Notre Dame to join a conference. Can't schedule, got to join a conference. Well, going to say that's not an issue. We're good there. Well, Monty, can't get a TV deal. Yeah, going to say that's not an issue. I think we're good there.
We did what we did.
Can't make any money because we can't get in the Super League. Well, we actually sold our souls to the devil.
Like, for instance,
Going to say that's not an issue. So let me get this right. We should join a conference. Notre Dame should join a conference. Even though they're scheduling some of the best universities in college football and will continue to have one of the best schedules and availability that allows them to put cupcakes in and not be punished so they have an avenue to a championship. They have their own TV deal, their own multimedia deal, their own branding deals, their own trademark deals. You name it, they've got it. They have one of the best stadiums in college football. It's full every single week. Their enrollment's awesome. You tell me why Notre Dame should join a conference. There's no reason to do that. Why would you? Let me see. I can play by somebody else's rules and probably make less money. Or I could stay on my own and keep all of my money and play whoever the flip I want to play. And Clemson, Florida State, and Miami are willing to schedule us. Yeah, I better join the Big Ten. Yeah, I better get into the sex ed conference and, just.
And, oh, by the way, we just went to the college football playoff semifinal.
Right, but the quarterback sucked. Just ask his mom.
So, just saying,
we
are
have
relevant as hell.
We have a coach who can't count past 10 against Ohio State. We're guaranteed pretty much a spot in the college football playoff every year. We should join a conference. Makes total sense. Talking about. Touchdown Jesus is not a team player. He does not want to share that cheddar. And
why would he?
Why would he? Why
the hell would he?
Dirty heathens. No chance. Sergeant Morhew, hello. Notre Dame to the Mountain West. I've heard that. Listen, they've wanted to play Air Force, and now we're going to find out. And we all know how the religious folk love them some Las Vegas. Who doesn't want to schedule UNLV every year? Make it happen.
Yay!
Gloria, make a phone call. God's waiting. Inside Edition.
Waiting on line one.
Commissioner, Jesus is on the phone. He says if you don't pick up the phone now, he's going to tell his dad.
Hey, it's urgent.
Yeah. Gloria, the meatloaf. Jesus wants it now.
Ma!
Come on, I just made a Jesus is going to tell his dad joke. Nothing? Okay.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Bro.
Mountain Mama. We'll do it live, damn it. I love that. If you guys have not seen Bill O'Reilly, We'll Do It Live, just go Google search it. It'll change your life. Let's be honest. UF is a step down from the M. Yes, it is. But Mr. Ono is in CYA mode. Any safe harbor in the storm. Hopefully, U of S Board of Regents asks really uncomfortable questions, dude.
That's what they do.
I don't even know how you explain it. If you're the University of Florida, you could have had any president pretty much you wanted. You hired Scandal Bro.
Scandal Ono.
That's a good idea. Just bring Dan Mullen and his wife back to Gainesville.
Right.
It'll be fine.
She can hug everybody.
Michigan has better facilities than UF. Don't, Eric, stop. You're going to upset James. Those TCU fans are very soft.
Come on, man. What is we talking about?
Florida is putting $400 million into their. Who cares? There's net, James. Honest question.
Monty?
And listen, maybe I should just drive roofing nails through my nipples like I'm Bill Belichick. I don't know.
Do you want me to call Jordan? I can.
Somebody explain to me, on what planet does one have to live to believe that the swamp will ever be on par with the big house? Ever. And I'm serious. How much cocaine do you have to snort to believe what you just wrote?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Booger sugar is a real thing, dude.
Dude, that nose candy coming available to you?
Yeah, dude.
What are we doing here?
Excellent strategy, sir.
It's going to be amazing once it's done. I'm sure it is. It's never going to be on par with Michigan. The big house, the horseshoe, Notre Dame Stadium. You know why? You know why? I bet you don't, because you're a TCU fan. Really, more to the point, you're an Oak State fan. You haven't had special. You haven't had the moments. You haven't had. And I'm certainly not a Michigan football fan.
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, listen, I think I have the best slogan for Michigan football, which is, well, fuck them, right? Like that's my
I'm going to say this again. I want you to listen to me.
That's my slogan for Michigan football. But what's happened in that building and what continues to happen in that building, the swamp will never even be close to that.
Hell no.
You would have to go on a decades-long run. Steve Spurrier ain't walking through that door anytime soon. Even during the Tebow murderous Aaron Hernandez was never a nice guy phase. Even when Pervin Lyer was the head coach and Chris Rainey was doing Chris Rainey things. No. You were never Bo Schembechler. You were never Elvis Gerbach. You were never...
Dude, but the mullet, dude.
You were never. People get so quick about, oh man, look at those shiny countertops in the... Who cares? Look at those beautiful lockers.
Dude, Delta Center's looking great right now, dude.
Did you guys see the Florida Gator fluorescent light on the ceiling in here? Yeah, we did, and nobody cares.
Boom. Out of here.
All right. Gator shop. You're not even in the same conversation as Michigan. It snows in Michigan. Are you sure? I think that's a lie. You made that up. You know. I don't even know what you said. Eric Wasikowski, Lloyd Carr was my era. Okay, one exception. Lloyd Carr. Good point.
That's the untrained
Lloyd
eye.
Carr, Pervin Lyer. Santa Ono is going to clean up the swamp, Monty. We're going to empty, what did he say? We're going to drain the swamp.
Scandal Ono strikes again.
No, I'm not doing the drain the swamp game. Wait, a scandal at Michigan and big boy, I'm shocked. Just another day. I know. And the big boy, you need a
and
comment.
Stuff.
And stuff. Guys, to be fair, Florida had Tebow.
God bless.
You know, Mike Smith. Nobody triggers Monty like James. I pay membership fees just to see James trigger Monty in HD. That's what I'm saying.
And I appreciate you pointing out it is HD. Thank you.
You know, midweek Coug, the only reason Notre Dame joins a conference is if the rules are you have to be in a conference to make the playoffs, or you know, if it's the all. No, I'm a recovering
Don't play intramurals, brother.
Catholic, and there's some bitterness there. You know, I mean, the communion, breaking the bread of.
Is that what we're calling it now?
You know. Had to eat something, right? It is what it is. The stadium guy, James, San Diego State, Aztec, just look up the renderings. Nobody.
Dude, bro.
I understand, James, that you have to get to 21 times a month.
Dude, the knee padding is so real, bro.
I imagine.
It's so real.
I imagine Oak State James's wife comes home from a long, hard day at work.
Honey, honey, honey.
And she's like, honey. James, what do you want for dinner? And she walks into James's den, and he is just full on arm pumping. Oh, God, the swamp. Oh, do you see those light stands, Mommy? Oh, Daddy. Oh, Daddy. Oh, God, the IPF.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
God, Mommy.
Yeah, boy.
Bro.
21 times a month. Like, listen, my guess is that you don't have a mirror on your ceiling. My guess is you just have renderings of new stadiums. That's all I can guess. And if you dislocate your shoulder, work into those renderings, listen, that's a sacrifice dudes like you got to make. You know,
Bro.
Hell no.
Oh, God love you, James. Brandon Butler. So what you're saying is Florida is sketchy and Ono is on brand as a hire. All right. So this way, recruits. This is the Aaron Hernandez shooting range. Oh my God. Damian Fowler, Monty and Two Shakes, come over for supper tonight. I made a ton of teriyaki stir fry.
We show up.
Dude, I am in the calorie deficit and loving it. Got on the scale this morning, down another 1.5 pounds. Life is good, but bro, maybe I'll convince Mrs. Marty to get some shrimp fried rice tonight.
Juicy.
We went to a new sushi place by our house, and it was not ideal. The sushi was really good. We ordered teriyaki chicken, and it was on a plate. And I understand restaurants got to try hard on a plate. And I would remind you, the plate was a shape of a triangle. You knew the
triangle offense.
It's the triad. You're screwed.
Right.
White rice in one corner. Like chicken breast just chopped into long strips.
Julienne.
Whatever. In the other corner. And then like cabbage with like, I guess, teriyaki sauce in a bowl. And then a bunch of like other stuff in the middle that I never got near. And I'm just like, dude, no.
I'm not afraid to die.
I ordered teriyaki.
Well, Monty, there's teriyaki sauce on the plate. What's the problem?
When I want $20 Chinese food, I want to go in. I want shrimp fried rice with double shrimp. Okay, pasta? We good? Okay, sweet. Right? And then I want you to bring me a bowl that's got a bunch of fried rice, some peas, some carrots, scrambled eggs like you ain't never seen.
Yeah, I know what time it is.
A whole bunch of shrimp. And then I just want some soy sauce that I can dump all over that like it's cereal and milk.
Soup.
And then I'm going to go to Pound Town. I don't want deconstructed, look how neat this plate is. No.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
Not doing it. Not doing it. Nothing makes a stadium renovation special like reasonably priced concessions, I've heard. Right? James is amazing. James' wife says the IPF and upper deck and it causes a full-on blue vein throbber.
Oh my God, just like that.
Oh, did you say IPF? Come here, you sexy Scarlet.
Please.
You call me Tebow. Say it, baby. Call me
Macaque.
Tebow. Okay. Shrimp fried rice. Yes. I'm getting shrimp fried rice for dinner. Eric Wasikowski should try fasting, dude. I'm trying 1,700 calories a day and a solid 6.5 hours of sleep and no less than 5 days of closing my activity ring. And if I do that, right now I'm 3.5 pounds a week and I love it. And it sucks because my clothes are all way too big now. But it's awesome. I love what I'm doing. Give me my butt thunder for breakfast.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. Dude, did you just say your butt thunder? Who are you? The husband of the Southwest flight lady?
She's probably on the show there.
Damn.
No, I'm kidding. Give me my oats. Dude, I had the best oats this morning. Half a cup of Bob's Red Mill oats, a scoop of chia seeds, 2 ounces of blackberries, 2 ounces of blueberries, 1 scoop of creatine, 1 scoop of cinnamon, whole peanut butter, no sugar added, Kirkland peanut butter, tablespoon of maple syrup. Dude, pound town. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no
It
doubt.
is so good.
Yeah.
Man called horse training program. That's what I'm saying. You know?
Right.
You know, San Diego State Glen, scrambled eggs in my fried rice. I'm out. Can't afford that dish, dude.
Oh,
it's
dude,
so
it's
good.
so good, bro.
Eggs are expensive, but it is so good. Soy sauce, ponzu sauce is such an upgrade. I'll try it as long as it's shrimp fried rice. You know, Reister JP, does Pound Town mean something different to the Mormons? I have no idea. You'd have to ask
We're not
them.
Mormons, so you know.
You know. It is what it is. Johnny Gonzalez, butt thunder, feel the butt thunder, lightning in the butt thunder. That's what I'm saying. You know, Illumindursky, hello. I would like to do a 3-day fast, but can never get through day 2.
You don't have to fast. Just be in a calorie deficit.
You don't have to fast. And you know what? It depends on whatever you feel like works for you. Do that. People that subscribe to intermittent fasting, knock yourself out. I admittedly try to go 12 hours from dinner till I have my oats. And that's usually, I try to eat breakfast every day at 8:30. I try to be really rhythmic, right? I get up at 5 every morning. Tomorrow, this getting healthy thing sucks.
Do you even live?
Going to the gym tomorrow at 4:45. 40-minute lift. You know. It's gonna be brutal. Anyway, I try to get up at 5. Usually I'm in the shower at 5:05. By 5:45, I'm in my kitchen. I drink a small bottle of orange juice every day. Try to chug 20 ounces of water. I come down and I get my my daily business in place.
Tell me I'm insane right now. We're talking about losing weight.
Yes.
And dieting. What just came across my phone? An Apple News notification. Weight Watchers files for bankruptcy.
Is that true?
That just came across my phone right now. Bro.
Okay.
It's so excessive, dude.
Okay. Let's see. I don't see it. It must not be true. Weight Watchers. Didn't Oprah buy Weight Watchers?
I have no idea.
Yeah, okay. Being rhythmic is good. Nothing like a chocolate train leaving the station on time. Every day. 8:30 with the oats. By 9 o'clock, dude, Browns are in the Super Bowl. Do it. Whoa. Damian Fowler. Sorry, Monty, I didn't realize what you were trying to do health-wise, or I wouldn't have brought it up. LOL. Dude. I do love, man. Teriyaki's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Harper. Give Monty his oats, and he's ready for the Kentucky Derby. Dude, I'll run
nowhere.
The quarter pole like your mom's never seen. Proud of you, Marty. I know this has been many-year journey. You know what? I think it is. Weight loss is one of those things where I just didn't respect. What's the right way to say this? I didn't respect the difficulty of weight loss. I didn't respect, like, I've lost quite a bit of weight in my life. I've done every fad diet you can think of. Intermittent fasting, always hated it, was never a good lifestyle choice for me. I did a 40-day juice fast for 30 days.
No redos.
I did. I made it 30 days in a juice fast, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
What it does to you mentally is
An
remarkable.
experience.
But for the last probably 10, 15 years, my wife and I have been remarkably healthy. We've eaten very well. We've worked out a lot. Like, we've been pretty consistent. And then I'll go a stretch where I'm not consistent. But what haven't I done? I don't drink soda. Generally, I don't eat high sugar things. I'll occasionally binge on an Oreo with Jake. But
It's pretty rare, dude. Honestly, it's pretty rare.
I'm a big believer. Sugar's the great killer. Fat is not nearly as bad for you as sugar. I currently will try to eat 1,700 calories a day. I'm going to get to my goal weight, which I'm not far from. I'll get to my goal weight, and I will probably bump that up to my maintenance is probably 2,000 calories, 2,200 calories a day, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have to do what works for you. That's the whole thing. You got to do what works for you.
Yeah.
Juice fasts are a sham, says a guy who I'm going to guess has never done one.
Yeah.
Because when we did a juice fast, and when I say juice fast, we have a juicer. We would get organic vegetables, and the staples were a lot of spinach, a lot of kale, a lot of carrots.
Yeah.
And then you find what you like. Always some kind of citrus. Always some kind of, like, a pear. Apples and pears, right? Like, anyway, so when we did that 3 times a day. And I can't tell you, weight loss obviously is going to happen because you're not eating in bulk. But your blood sugar, the restorative, you just feel better.
Yeah.
Because I did it, I think we did 33 days. You're just in better health. It's remarkable. And again, I just tell everybody, okay, a juice fast is a sham. Okay, if they're a sham, they weren't a sham for me because my blood work, my overall health, DNA obviously is on my side. But again, I go back to, what did my colonoscopy say?
Yeah.
You think that's because a juice fast is a sham? You get that many plant nutrients and you get that much green and vegetable and fiber into your diet.
The
Bro.
first week is an ass kicking. Once you get past that, though, it's not
the
that
first
difficult.
3 days are hell.
Yeah. You feel awful.
The first 24 hours, fine. You wake up on day 2, dude, it's death. I'm telling you,
Put
you
PTO in, you're doing nothing.
Start on a Friday. By Monday, you'll be fine. I'm on the carnivore diet and just ate off the roller. Feel great. There you go. Hey, listen, fecal matter doesn't always have to be bad.
Preston always coming through, bro.
Johnny Gonzalez, burning 2,100 calories for me. Okay. That's an advantage I have as well. I burn somewhere around 4,500 calories a day just by waking up. Right? Like, if I look at my numbers right now, and I follow my health app pretty, okay, stop with the pop-ups. I've burned, of course, I cannot get my stupid. I've burned 3,300 calories just by being awake today. So I'm telling you that it's very doable. You've got to find what works for you because that's what matters.
Yeah, it's different for everybody.
Yeah. That's what matters. Smoothies made with whey is a good fast. By Sunday, you can have a cheat day. I think whey protein is incredibly important. You guys, I'll say this every day. If you're not using chia seeds and a really good cut of creatine, and I always tell you, I think Bucked Up has the best creatine. Promo code Monty. I'm telling you, go get Bucked Up creatine and have a scoop every day. And if you're not trying, in my opinion. Spinach, kale-based juices are truth. Make it your breakfast 5 days a week and you won't need coffee or energy drinks. The mental clarity you get from it is, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. The health and detox claims are exaggerated and not backed by scientific evidence.
Okay,
I totally disagree.
Yeah,
I totally disagree. As somebody who did it, I'm telling you, the before and after blood work was not even close. Not even close. So we can agree to disagree. Reister, Monty has been talking about the juice enema schedule more than sports. I have. All that fiber, I'm surprised you even have an A's left. I do. And I am regular as the clock. Fasting isn't a sham. The sham is people fast, then pig out after the fast, and that's what 80% of fasts never work. I am telling you, the hardest part about gimmick and fad diets is what happens when you're done with it.
Great question.
Because you can't do the Atkins diet your whole life. You just can't.
You have to do the things you don't want to do. That's the problem, bro.
You have to cut out sugar, in my opinion. Oh my God, that Hunter fall was. You have to cut out sugar, in my opinion. I think that's where you start. You should stop drinking soda today, right now. I am amazed how many people don't understand how much corn syrup they drink every single day.
It's wild. It is, to me, it's always been, and whether you're talking about a diet or not, just like generally speaking, it's wild to me how much corn syrup is hidden through all the food, and like it's everywhere, bro.
Dude. Blue Turf, Monty, what is the prize pick number for calories you burn a day? 5,000. 4,999 and a half, more or less.
Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you easily eclipse 5,000 when we golf.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Not even close. Seth, who makes hats. Take multivitamins at night when your metabolism slows down. Works great, even if not over 50. Getting over 50 for best. Yeah. Listen, I tell you guys a lot. I take every day before I go to bed. I take ashwagandha. I take CoQ10. I take plant sterols. And I sleep like a baby. In the morning, I take CoQ10, plant sterols again. Magnesium, B complex, and vitamin D. Every day. Every day. Genetics play a huge role in it, but I'm telling you, my cholesterol is perfect. My heart health is perfect. My colon health is perfect. Because I think in our society, the way we eat, you have to handicap it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. Sugar is poison. I totally agree with that. James, honest question. What is your take on sodas that are zero sugar? Terrible. Because it's not the sugar in the soda is terrible. The issue with the zero sugar sodas is science doesn't lie. I'm a big believer what science says goes. The chemicals that are in sodas, the reaction that your body has to them, what it does to things like your pancreas, the bacteria in your stomach. I'm telling you, nothing good happens in diet soda, regular soda, nothing. If you're somebody that drinks fountain soda every day, I know what that's like, and I know how good it is, and it is absolutely killing your ecosystem. The balance of chemicals in your stomach that you really need. What it does to your pancreas, your stomach, your intestines. You don't want that. I'm telling you. I cut soda and juice since 2016. I drink Gatorade here and there, especially during the summer. But besides that, haven't touched a soda or a non-traditional juice since 2016.
Good for you, dude.
The only thing I really drink on a daily basis is I was down to one Monster for like a month. And I should try to get down to one. That's the only thing. I drink that or water.
Yeah.
That's it. And I have orange juice. Orange juice.
Having a canteen for water makes a huge difference.
It does. It does. Reister said, I just cracked open a Coke. Good for you, man. I hope it's really enjoyable. Have a bad accident. Stay a combined 6 months in the hospital, rehab, nursing home, and watch the weight fly off. Hey, man, there's no better diet plan than wrecking yourself on a snowboard, on a bicycle. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Steve Stepanek, the diet pop takes the calcium out of your bones. I'm working on stopping drinking diet pop, but it's hard. It is hard. It is very difficult. It is very difficult. All right. The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. Is Brett Yormark actually the best commissioner in college athletics? I know it sounds crazy. We'll talk about it after this from the Advocates.
When you've been injured in an accident, you need a lawyer, and you deserve an advocate, because every accident has a ripple effect. It affects your time, your health, your ability to make money, everything. That's where the Advocates can help. Speaking with an attorney is simple and 100% free. We're available 24/7 for your convenience, and we'll take on the claims process so you can rest easy. Because you're not just a client to us, you're a person, and you deserve the best help you can get. You deserve an advocate.